What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jonathan Farber and I was able to achieve financial freedom and leave my corporate job this year after getting to a little over $12,000 a month in passive income. First off, thank you for being here. I know you could be doing anything right now. This channel is all about replacing your W-2 passive income and all the tools, tips, tricks, and tactics I use on an everyday basis. In this video, we are going over how to find a property manager. This is a really common question for people starting out, especially those who are buying property out of state, or it's their first deal, or it doesn't even matter if it's just around your block. And this can apply to traditional rentals, short-term rentals, vacation rentals, doesn't really matter. This is a serious concern, but it can be overcome with some systems and some processes. I don't want you to be one of the people who doesn't get started because they aren't sure how to manage a property after you buy it. I used to do this and a lot of other people do it, finding things to use as an excuse not to get started or take action. So in this video, we're gonna walk through a step-by-step process of how you can find a property manager and what questions you can be asking them. And make sure to stay until the end where I go over the exact tool I use to organize these resources. All right, so it doesn't matter where you're investing. You just know that you don't want to be managing this property. This is completely fine. In this video, I'm not here to tell you whether you should or shouldn't. In this video, we're just going over a process on how you can find a property manager in any market. The cool part about finding property managers, which might make you feel better, is that these people, property managers, have been here for a long time before you came along, and they'll be here for a long time after. You're not trying to solve something new or overly complex. Doesn't mean it's easy, but the system runs because property managers are in place and better at what they do than most people give them credit for. And they've seen probably everything, including beginner investors, and can manage most situations because they've seen most situations. It's kind of like that State Farm commercial. And like a lot of things, if you find one good person, they likely hang out with other good people and can make other recommendations or referrals for all sorts of things. Things like contractors, repair people, security people, pretty much whatever you might need vendor-wise at the property. Also, I don't want to leave out property managers can help you inspect and even find deals in some cases. So if you're not finding a lot of deals in different markets, you're having trouble analyzing them, a lot of property managers can actually help with this. So definitely try to keep them close. All right, so let's get into the process for how you can start to find and track and interview everyone today. The first step is referrals. So you may be saying, yes, I get that, but I don't know anyone in this market, which is completely okay. Because what we're gonna review is how to know people in that market quickly. So starting today, you can join as many local Facebook groups as you can in those markets. You have my permission. No, but seriously, you should be joining Facebook groups anytime you're looking at a market that you're not familiar with. So search for words like Texas real estate investors, Texas real estate, Texas properties for sale. You'll find plenty of local communities focused on real estate within Facebook. As you guys know, I have a Facebook group that I love and I love interacting with them, so I really can't emphasize Facebook groups enough. So once you're in those groups, what I recommend is making a post, preferably in bright colors or the meme, that introduces yourself and what you're looking for, and you'll receive comments. Next, see if there are any local or virtual meetups for this community. You can usually find these within Facebook groups or on sites like meetup.com or local RIAs or other real estate investing groups. Going one step further, you can DM these people from these communities using a template like this. Hey, I saw we were in the same real estate investor group. I was actually putting together a resource list for the group. I was wondering if you had any recommendations for property managers. I'll send you the doc after, but this is just kind of what we're doing. So this is an awesome way because you're adding value by doing something you already planned on doing. You're gonna be providing this person with a list in return for them helping you. Step 2, organize the contact information and speak to the people who referred you. So get in touch with them. It's awesome to get referrals, but we want to understand more about these people. Things like what type of properties do they specialize in? How long did the person use them for? Maybe it's their brother, so we need to know that. Is there a contact that you need to speak with who works there? Maybe you can get a referral for a certain person. All right, step 3, public reviews and social media. This is a really important way that you're gonna find or validate people you've already seen. It requires a little bit more combing through the information, but I learned quickly in reviewing property managers, the reviews are so important. But at the same time, I also found these reviews are really skewed sometimes. Not always, but in a lot of cases, the bad reviews come from tenants And in a lot of cases, you actually want your property manager to be pretty stern and actually kind of enforcing the rules, and a lot of tenants don't like that. So it's always good to look at the reviews to see, was this written by a tenant or was it written by a landlord? All right, so after that, you're on to step 4, which is interviewing. Now, technically, this starts with the first message you send to these companies or the first call you make to these companies. And this is sort of a test because how they handle communicating with you now is a good indicator of how they may handle working with you when you actually hire them. Like if they don't want your business now or they're not communicating well now, how will they handle communication when you actually pay them and they manage your property? So it's time to set up calls with them where you can kind of interview them and start asking them questions. Or what you can do in some cases, depending on the situation, is send them a deal you're looking at and ask for their opinion. I've actually done this and I love doing this because it shows kind of how they think and how responsive they can be. And it's kind of in line with one of my favorite expressions in the business, show me, don't tell me. If someone says they're great or they are referred highly or anything like that, I don't care. I need them to show me that they're good with how they respond, how they treat me, you know, what they send back to me, their presentation skills, all that sort of stuff. I don't really care what they say or how they talk. I just need to understand what type of action they're gonna be accountable to. And then basically you're looking to understand if they work with people or property that you fit into. So if it's a value add property, if it's a turnkey property, if it's like a hardcore flip, vacation rental, and you need to understand if that's a fit. So asking them if they handle those things. And then beyond that, you're gonna wanna ask things like, who's the best contact here? Who am I gonna be speaking with? What type of systems do you have in place? How often do we speak? What type of technology do you use? All these things you're gonna try to get a handle on and understand, is this person a fit for you? Do you vibe with them? Do they know how to manage what you're trying to do? And after all of that, it's time to pick one. So after comparing what you learned, speaking to local investors, reviewing public information, social media, reviews, conducting interviews, it's just time. You've done all you can do, and now you're really just ready to make a move and go with someone. And depending on where you're at in the process, you're either handing them a property to start managing or letting them know when you have one under contract and start the business plan. From there, that's when the work starts. And winding down here, there's still a chance that you may have problems with them after all of these steps, even likely. But by doing it this way, you give yourself the best chance to prevent those things. Actually, really quick pause. If you haven't done so already, there's a little button down there, the like and subscribe button. It would mean the world to me if you could just hit that real quick. Thank you. All right, now back to the video. So property managers are the lifeblood to investing in real estate. I don't want to manage properties myself, not just because I don't like doing it or because I think I can be doing other things that are better use of my time, but it's because property managers do this every day. They've seen everything. They are professionals. It is what they are good at. They don't focus on anything else. They have systems in place, processes, and like I said, experiences to deal with situations that you likely don't. If you want to consider this as a career or learn the business, that's one thing, but I can assure you good property managers are worth everything they do. And if you're looking for the resource sheet that I use to organize all my vendors and people that help out in certain cities, drop a comment below and I'll be sending it out to anyone that needs it. Also, I need to give a shout out to Nick Roberts. He is the property manager that I use in Raleigh, and he's just been awesome ever since starting to work with him a couple years back. He's just always been a professional and just an awesome communicator. So if you are in the Raleigh area, I'm not getting anything for saying this, but I definitely recommend checking out Nick Roberts of Bev Roberts. I know it sounds like an ad, but trust me, it's not. All right, that's all folks. Now go and get started. If you have any questions, drop a comment below and we'll see you in the next one.